In the second module of the student psychology course, we have discussed in detail about the student characteristics, types and problems. First, we discussed about the second module of the teaching model, which is entering behavior, how it is important for the teachers to know the psychology of the students. Followed by that, I discussed about personality, the various famous personalities in our country, and then took an example of a single personality to describe the characteristics of personality. We understood from the deliberations that personality is the sum of the total of physical characteristics, intellectual characteristics, emotional characteristics and social characteristics. We moved on to adolescent as a personality, how difficult it is a period of stress and storm for adolescents. We discussed in detail about the phases of adolescence, early adolescence, middle adolescence and late adolescence. Most of the times we are dealing with middle and late adolescence, and we also looked at the adolescent as a personality with 4 characteristics, namely physical characteristics, intellectual characteristics, emotional characteristics and social characteristics. And we discussed each one of the characteristics in detail. What are their physical characteristics, what they miss in their physical characteristics. We looked at how their intellectual characteristics are at their peak. We looked at the emotional problems and emotional instability during this period, labile emotions during this period. We looked at the social characteristics where they are always attached to the peers and they consider parents and teachers as their enemies. And this characteristics gives an overview of what kind of students we are handling in our higher education classrooms. Followed by that, I discussed about a small activity that we did in NITTR to compile all the problems of the adolescent students in the classrooms as perceived by the teachers, and we had listed almost around 50 problems. Finally, in this module, we discussed about the 8 different student types, namely complaint students, anxious students, independent students, heroes, snipers, attention seekers, discouraged workers and silent students. All the 8 types will be present in any classroom. The percentage may vary, and in this module I have given you the characteristics of the 8 different types of students, and also I have given guidelines for how to handle these 8 different types of students. Hope you had a wonderful learning experience knowing the characteristics of your students, the types of students you are having in the classroom and the problems that you are facing with your students, and a few solutions and strategies for handling students. Thank you for your attention.